The internet just blew up, ladies and gentlemen, so hold on to your phones. And it has nothing to do with a failed TikTok dancing challenge or another celebrity skincare line. No. This little is much messier. That's small indeed. The world was completely taken aback by the woman who supported Ty through every controversy, side-eye, and murmur in the courtroom. Officially, publicly, and seemingly dramatically, she has moved on. Sources, and by sources I mean the most inquisitive websites on the internet. Tiny's new lover, according to Cousins with Ring Lights, is more than just a rebound. He makes a statement. "I'm done being the ride or die. Now I'm the headline." This is a message conveyed by a person wearing a nice suit, strolling and talking, and guess who isn't taking it well? Yes, T.I., the man who claims to be the king of convenient words. He has reportedly been going into a downward spiral, calling for emergency studio sessions to express his sadness in 8008s and bass lines, and making disparaging remarks in cryptic messages, according to witnesses. However, insiders are speculating that this new husband revelation didn't just shatter T.I.'s heart, it's also going to reveal his past, which is where things go insane. You're not prepared for the receipts, I assure you. This isn't simply a love triangle, ladies and gents, and what you're going to learn may completely redefine what a plot twist is. It's an earthquake in public relations. Let's go back. We're talking about Tiny, the lady who supported Ty through everything from hip-hop stardom to federal investigations. And T, the rapper, businessman, and streetwise philosopher. They were the royal mess of hip-hop for years. A couple who made news for their ability to make every private argument into a public documentary, rather than their love story. Do you recall those times? Tiny discreetly rolled her eyes and said, "Boy, please." Their marriage had more story twists than a Netflix limited series. Ty was on podcasts acting like a love expert, providing advice that no one asked for. Rumors of infidelity, open relationship gossip, and even a few spiritual therapy sessions that inexplicably ended up on Instagram Live have all surfaced. However, in spite of Tiny stayed through it all. She didn't, despite all the headlines, rumors, and complex stages that followed. Because Tiny didn't leave in silence this time. Oh no, she used confetti to proclaim her glow up. She was hand in hand with her new husband while paparazzi screamed and cameras flashed. Yes, spouse, not fiancé, not boyfriend. The best part is that no one saw it coming. The world descended into anarchy, as if it had just discovered electricity. Social media took off. Within minutes, hashtags like ChuckTinyMoveAdon and .ti collapse began to gain popularity. Someone check on Ty. He about to rhyme pain with rain for the next decade. Another person even tweeted, "T writing a diss track in tears right now." However, underneath the shock value and the memes, there was something darker and more profound. Because based on information from people close to Tiny, by which I mean a cousin's hairdresser and makeup artist, undoubtedly has some knowledge. There is no man like this new hubby. It is said that he is a member of T's past. Yes, take a moment to process that. There seems to be history, the kind that allows lawsuits and awkward Thanksgivings. Rumor has it that this man was in the same social circle in the early 2000s, when Tiny was dominating the R&B scene and T.I. was still in his rubber band man phase. There are even rumors that this man formerly collaborated with T.I. on some business endeavors that were never fully recorded. This is where things start to go crazy. According to insiders, Tiny's new partner may hold the clue to some long-kept secrets that T.I. thought would remain hidden. Because now that this unknown man is back in Tiny's life, there may be unsettled payments, unfiled paperwork, and past deals that could come up again, according to one anonymous insider who vowed they would only speak if their voice was masked and their name was changed to Anonymous 001, as well as T.I. He's not handling it well, I see. According to reports, he has been telling his inner circle not to feed the circus of the media. An unconfirmed voice note purportedly stating, "They want me to break. They want me to fold, but they can get silence and strategy," was also released by an insider. You're popular on Shadoom, bro. The strategic vessel has already set sail. Let's be honest, though. The thought of losing both his wife and his reputation in a single week of going viral must be more painful than a Billboard snub for a man who has made his career out of control. Because love isn't the only thing at stake here, concerning legacy. For years, T.I. portrayed himself as the man who held his family close and was the patriarch of power. And now he's being pulled around the internet like a bad 2008 mixtape. There are memes everywhere. One even features him sobbing in slow motion to your preferred music while Tiny drives off in a Rolls Royce with her new partner. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of this. Tiny's recent romance wasn't an unexpected development. Behind the scenes, it has been developing for months. Sneak peeks, mysterious captions, and fortuitous encounters at high-end industry gatherings. Before the wedding pictures were released, everyone assumed it was only rumors. A Miami private ceremony, more stringent guest list than an NDA. Tiny in a gown adorned with bespoke diamonds that cost more than the mortgages of most individuals. Tall, handsome, well-groomed, and beaming with confidence, the new spouse looks like he just took home a Grammy for greatest revenge performance. At that point, the narrative changed from one of sadness to one of inquiry. Because immediately following that ceremony, a number of T.I.'s former acquaintances began dropping internet breadcrumbs. Fans literally lost their minds over random tweets like, "Funny how the past always comes back when money's involved." Or some people forget who helped them get there. One even shared an old blurry photo of Ty standing next to someone who looked suspiciously like Tiny's new husband, captioning it, "History repeats itself." Overnight, Reddit threads sprang, analyzing every detail as if they were amateur FBI agents. TikTok detectives began comparing jewelry, plotting timeframes, and examining eye contact from previous interviews similar to those in the Zapruder movie. Let's just say that what they discovered made matters worse. Online investigators claim that there were hints throughout. Old business registrations, reciprocal followers, and subtle social media overlaps all make a lot more sense now. Some even assert that throughout some of the most significant public disputes between Tiny and T.I. in the past, Tiny's new man was subtly there. Is it a coincidence? Perhaps planned? Most likely. Due to the fact that these leaks are to be believed, this was more than a romantic tale. The coup was slow motion, a calculated and silent departure from a poisonous empire based on deceit, ego, and celebrity. T.I.'s entire brand appears to be eroding while Tiny is out there looking radiant and tweeting cryptic remarks like, "Peace looks good on me." According to one insider, a big label meeting was canceled because of emotional discomfort. Sponsors are reportedly pulling out, and events are being postponed. Not to mention that a big outlet is reportedly planning a tell-all interview. Yes, you heard correctly. Tiny may be settling in to reveal all. Mr. Harris's game is done if that occurs. Because no amount of quick vocabulary can save the king once the queen begins speaking. One can't help but ask as all of this is happening, is this truly just a messy breakup? Or are we witnessing the public unveiling of a man who relied on image control to build his empire? Because if the rumors are accurate, exposure rather than sadness will be the next thing that happens. Thus, exposure. The word since Tiny dropped that wedding bomb, it has been reverberating through the virtual hallways. Oh, and the so-called exclusive leaks quickly began to drip like a shattered tap. Because even if they are pieced together with the use of Wi-Fi and creativity, receipts from celebrity scandals always end up online. Hold on tight, for what follows seems more like a power play penned by someone's petty ex than a love story. Based on what sources are referring to as the Miami Papers, a set of voice notes, screenshots, and enigmatic redacted emails that are currently making the rounds among gossip bloggers, Tiny's new husband may be more closely related to T.I.'s commercial history than anyone ever imagined. A now-defunct entertainment firm that T.I. co-founded in 2012 allegedly named this man as a silent consultant. Hustle Street Ventures is the business. On paper, it was meant to manage brand partnerships, apparel lines, and artist development. Let's just say that the maths never quite worked out in practice. Financial reports with file names like TI Sex 2024 Final Reel, which were again obtained via anonymous cloud files, reveal payments that are not justified. A purported former employee going by the name Ms. Hustle22 came forward with allegations that the company was used as a front to finance extravagant private events, undisclosed purchases, and personal trips posing as networking retreats. On 2 of those transfers, you can guess whose signature appeared. Yes, the man now wearing Tiny's ring. When pressed for specifics, she stated, quote, "Let's just say there were more champagne bottles than contracts. Let's just say there were more champagne bottles than contracts." As if that weren't crazy enough, leaked audio clips purportedly taken at one of these events were made anonymous last evening. Don't worry, the paperwork going disappear before the IRS even sneezes. A man whose supporters claim has T.I.'s voice can be heard saying in one. But are we sure that's true? Not at all. However, did Twitter accept it? Oh, right away. HusLeaks and the NAR T.I. controversy were popular within hours. It was all over the feeds of every gossip website, from Hollywood Unlocked to the Neighborhood Talk. Even popular media began to snoop around with headlines like, Tiny's new marriage opens door to old financial secrets. With the exception of a mysterious Instagram story with a black screen and the words, "the loudest one in." The room usually ain't the smartest. Translation, he's mad. T.I. remained silent throughout this time, most likely working on a diss song called Prenup Bars. Let's now discuss Tiny, who was radiant as the internet was disparaging T.I. as if he had just been voted off of hip-hop and love. Perfect design fits are unrivaled in public appearances. How bright that wedding ring is. She is sharing captions like "New Chapter, Same Queen, Online.energy," and it was well received. Queen behavior swamped the comment section. You heal in this way? Get rid of the poison. You believe she ended world hunger rather than a marriage? Nevertheless, a fresh surge of interest struck the timeline amid all the support. Really? Who is this new man? Detectives on TikTok didn't sleep. They had discovered a sequence of deleted tweets from 2013 that suggested a rivalry between him and T, determined his name, allegedly, Marcus Lane, and tracked out his social connections in less than a day. Perhaps it was a coincidence that one of them even read, "Some folks act like kings until they realize they borrowed the crown." Perhaps. However, the internet no longer accepts coincidences, only plots. Within hours, screenshots, contracts, text messages, and what looked to be an old memo signed by both Marcus and Ty confirming joint ventures appeared. And right on cue, an enigmatic user going by the name of Industry Shadow started posting threads with captions like, "If y'all only knew what Marcus really did in 2014. If any of it is true, it indicates that Tiny recently wed the man who formerly assisted Ty in creating his empire, and may have been obliterated in the process. That's more than irony now. It's poetic retaliation. However, when more people came out with each new disclosure, the turmoil continued. Everyone, including former coworkers, assistants, and stylists, suddenly realized they had a backstory. In a live stream, a former coworker who goes by the online handle DJ Smokehouse asserted, "Bro, they all knew each other. I saw them at the same time at mansion parties. That new guy had been there from the beginning." According to another, Ty and Marcus had a falling out about money and ethics. Marcus apparently wanted to leave after noticing that T was conducting business as if it were a monopoly rather than real life. And that clarifies everything if that is the case. Because this would be Karma finishing her PhD, not merely Tiny moving on. Fans started picking sides as this online conflagration raged. After years, Team Tiny contended that she deserved to be happy, of occupying the shadow of Ty. According to Team Ty, she was humiliating him through the marriage. Since the new husband is reportedly now assisting investigators, Team T, the unofficial gossip committee on the internet, remarked, "Y'all missing the point. This isn't about love. It's about exposure." That's when the real drama began. Yes, you heard correctly. According to certain accounts, some old cases involving T.I.'s enterprises have been resurrected by the IRS and local authorities. As per a widely circulated Marcus Lane, who was at the hip-hop whistle, has consented to testify about financial irregularities involving entertainment revenue streams from 2011 to 2016. Do we now know whether the hip-hop whistle is real? No. However, the post received 10 million views and 500,000 likes. That is essentially the gospel in terms of the internet. And just when things seem to be getting a little messy, another bombshell is dropped. A grainy security camera video from 2013 that purports to show T and Marcus fighting outside of a taping is leaked. Studio. Lip readers say T.I. says, "If you cross me again, I'll bury your name." The clip was released by an anonymous account and vanished in a matter of minutes. However, once something gets on the internet, it never goes away. It simply multiplies. The story had changed now. This was hardly a romantic tale. It was a thriller about revenge. Like a soap drama, fans began to piece it together. The forgotten buddy was Marcus. He was wiped out of history by Ty. Out of poetic justice, Tiny wed him. The truth was suddenly leaking out like tainted champagne. And Tiny stayed quiet, collected and unflappable throughout it all. She was suddenly untouchable, the same woman who used to cry before interviews. T.I.'s dictionary-length Instagram captions were not as loud as her quiet. A crisis public relations firm that focuses on reputation management for well-known clients with complicated pasts is said to have been recruited by T.I. In other words, damage control mode is now active. Insiders claim he has been reviewing his relationships and even postponing engagements. According to one rumor, he has already recorded a new song called "Loyalty Ain't Free." How creative. However, the tension is genuine beneath the humor. Because we may be dealing with more than just rumors if these so-called Miami papers are even partially confirmed. Legal issues could be in our future. The situation then takes a negative turn since it seems that some prominent members of Atlanta's corporate community have begun to distance themselves from the Harris name. Deals are being reviewed. Collaborations are on hold and meetings are canceled. By the end of the week, news sources were referring to it as hip-hop's most chaotic divorce, with one insider saying, "No one wants to be the next headline." And that's when people realized this wasn't just a messy celebrity breakup. This was a collapse in slow motion. Whether Tiny's action was strategic sabotage or empowerment was up for dispute among commentators. The internet was overrun with memes. With T.I. labeled King of Speedy Falls, one appeared little, resembling Daenerys from Game of Thrones. However, beyond the humor, there was genuine worry since the leaks continued to surface, and it was said that the next one might reveal names in addition to financial problems. Well-known names. One question kept coming up in every comment section, gossip program, and dubious group chat as the tale progressed. What will happen if Tiny's new spouse decides to reveal the secrets that Ty has kept? Here we are then. The repercussions, the point at which the controversy becomes proof rather than just amusement. Because what began as internet anarchy evolved into something much more formal as the disclosures mounted. Several anonymous insiders, the type that always appeared just before a nuclear exchange, have said as much. According to reports, the IRS and a private investigation company started looking into the financial ties between Ty, his previous business endeavors, and Marcus Lane, Tiny's new spouse. Furthermore, the headlines were even more outrageous than the memes. Ty is being reviewed after financial concerns are raised by the ex-wife's recent marriage. Authorities are receiving cooperation from Tiny's new husband. It's going to get ugly, according to sources. As ancient bargains reappear, Harris Empire is rattled. It was all over. Every podcast with a microphone and a half-baked opinion, every stream, every reel. T.I.'s team attempted to refute claims of internet sensationalism, character assassination, and disinformation. However, you cannot use a PR hose to put out a digital wildfire. The public stops seeking the truth once they smell blood. Drama is what they want. Drama too. There was plenty, I see. People think this is revenge. No, this is redemption, Tiny's close buddy said live. Peace doesn't look good on everyone, especially those who started the ruckus. Tiny discovered peace. The video became viral. It has received millions of views and thousands of comments, making it the year's most popular quote. Behind the scenes, T.I. was allegedly in a downward spiral. According to an unidentified studio engineer, T.I. broke down in the middle of a recent recording session, slammed his microphone, and shouted, "They really trying to erase me out my own story." That one emotional admission turned into the next internet fad. Overnight, TikTok edits appeared, utilizing Tiny's wedding images in slow motion have that quote as a sound. The caption said, "When karma finally does her job." However, let's face it, there was a serious situation simmering beneath all the memes and replies. Because Marcus Lane had handed over a USB drive, according to an insider from the purported Miami Papers click. Indeed, a real USB drive with files labeled confidential belonging to Hustle Ventures accounts. Additionally, there may have been tax problems, expenditure sheets, and many personal payments to shell firms with unclear purposes within that drive. According to sources, a lawyer is no longer necessary to recognize that it is more than mere rumors. Evidence like that is awaiting a subpoena. Lawyers began calling as the internet laughed. If those documents are authentic, we're not just talking about poor bookkeeping. We're talking about potential fraud exposure. Fraud exposure. The two words every celebrity PR team dreads. Suddenly, this wasn't just about Ty losing his marriage, said an unnamed entertainment lawyer. It was the professional equivalent of ghosting. And sponsorship began to halt relationships. A streaming platform quietly pulled a re-release of one of his old albums for review, and an upcoming brand collaboration was put on hold indefinitely. Meanwhile, Tiny was doing well, posting a subtly romantic picture of herself drinking wine on a yacht with the caption, "Peace tastes better when it's earned." The internet exploded, with fans referring to it as the softest clapback in history. Marcus, on the other hand, remained silent, making no statements or interviews, only a modest smile that shouted, "Mission accomplished," in paparazzi photos. But then came the twist. A week after the alleged USB handover, an unverified clip surfaced showing what looked like T.I. meeting privately with a well-known Atlanta lawyer. In the clip, T.I. can be heard saying, "We can fix this. We simply must repair it quickly." Was it authentic? Although no one could verify, the video went viral more quickly than fact-checkers could. A local Atlanta news outlet reported that official records were being re-examined in connection with Hustle Street Ventures. They did not say that charges were filed, only that inquiries were made, but you know how it goes. The public didn't wait for proof. They already had their villain. After all, in the eyes of the internet, once your ex glows up and your secrets leak, you're the lesson rather than the victim. YouTubers analyzed it. Podcasters ran with it. Late-night shows made jokes about it. And one comedian joked, "Ty used big words for years." Twitter instantly transforms the word investigation to handcuffs pending. He is now understanding the meaning of audit. Cameras flashed, interviews flooded, and Tiny and Marcus made their first public appearance together at a charity banquet in Atlanta. The video received 500,000 retweets. "I've moved on," remarked the queen of peaceful turmoil, who never fails to do so. "I hope everyone gets well and takes responsibility." She didn't need to drag him. She didn't need interviews, rants, or hashtags. Her quiet was the drag, and her new life was the headline. T.I., on the other hand, attempted to regain control, releasing a statement saying the leaks where Marcus became the face of calculated karma, Tiny became the symbol of moving on in style, and T.I. became the cautionary tale. The man who had everything lost it and tried to outsmart the internet. Even his peers started to distance themselves from him. One fellow rapper even posted, "You can't lead a kingdom built on ego." Fans immediately took it as a jab at T.I., and by the time the final scene arrived, no one was paying attention. Everyone fell silent when a well-known news outlet revealed that a federal investigation into Hustle Street Ventures' financial history was officially underway. Despite this, Tiny's world appeared to be unaffected, as she launched a new lifestyle brand called Second Act, with the tagline, "Because every ending deserves a comeback." Her wedding became legendary, and her name was reclaimed. The empire had officially collapsed, not with a bang, but with a viral thread and a wedding ring. And that's the thing about public downfalls. They don't happen overnight. They happen in pixels and whispers in receipts shared one screenshot at a time. And T.I., he was trending again, but this time under the hashtag #DodgeFromK2Clown. Ouch. The internet's verdict was harsh, the memes relentless, and the damage irreversible. One thing is clear as the cameras fade and the blogs refresh for the next scandal. This was not just the end of Ty and Tiny. It was the rebirth of Tiny the mogul, Tiny the mastermind, and the one who finally turned her heartbreak into a headline, and her headline into a legacy. This is because while T was busy protecting his image, Tiny was rebuilding her peace. When she walked down that aisle with Marcus, it wasn't just a marriage, it was a message. That's not revenge, ladies and gentlemen. That's poetic justice with diamond edges and designer shades. Ladies and gentlemen, what a story. From power couple to plot twist, from empire to exposure. We just watched the rise, the fall, and the revenge arc of the decade. And somewhere out there, T is probably sitting in a dimly lit studio, rhyming loyalty with royalty, still trying to understand how the woman he once called his queen became the ruler of her own empire, while he's left battling ghosts. The question that has everyone whispering in their direct messages tonight is whether Tiny's new marriage was a love story or the ultimate power play. Whether it was about healing or a headline, because when you look closely enough, it doesn't just feel like a breakup, but rather like a blueprint. And let's face it, sometimes karma doesn't knock. Ty, well, let's say that sometimes karma doesn't knock. She kicks the door in wearing red bottoms and carrying a camera crew. The question now is not what Tiny did, but rather what she knew, and whether she truly knew all along that one day that she had turned T's empire into her own comeback story. Because perhaps, just possibly, this wasn't karma at all, perhaps it was strategy. But hey, that's just my opinion. Hogwarts. No one's innocent. Everyone has receipts. And eventually the past always logs back in. Don't hold back, I'm watching. What do you think? Was Tiny planning her boss's move all along, or did fate finally give Tia a taste of his own medicine? Before you scroll, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell because, believe me, this isn't the last time that scandal, money, and love collide. This is the Gossip Spill vibe where the truth is hotter than the Tia.